Hey guys, what's going on? Space here. Got an impromptu video for you guys here today. We got to talk about this DeMarcus Lawrence pay cut thing because um, there's a lot of opinions floating in Cowboy land about how some players are greedy, the organization's dumb, all that stuff. So I'm going to try and provide my take as best as I can in today's video, talk about what's going on, and all that other stuff. So before we get into that, if you could like the video, that'd be awesome. Doesn't take too long to do. Helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe if you're new. About 67% of you guys watching are not subscribed. So if you fall into that percentage, hit the big red button. Doesn't take too long to do as well. And on top of that, if you hit the notification bell, you get notified with more content as we get further along in Cowboys free agency. So this whole pay cut thing. So it has been a known thing that the Dallas Cowboys come to their high end, their higher tier guys and say, "Can you take a pay cut for us? Like we don't really want to restructure your deal or anything. We just want you to take a pay cut." You know what happened? Whenever they ask someone for a pay cut, they immediately get released sometime later. And so I think that DeMarcus Lawrence will be. I have my money that DeMarcus Lawrence will not be on the team in 2022. I really do think that. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Now, I hope I'm wrong there. I really hope I'm wrong, but that's the vibe I'm getting. So there are the people in Cowboy land that think, okay, these players are greedy. They're getting paid all this money. They don't want, how dare they not take a pay cut so that their team can go out and get a $3 million free agent. Let me ask you guys this. If you were working at a place where you can negotiate your salary, similar to that of how pretty much some places work, right? Let's say that you're getting paid $60K a year. And for the next 2 years while you're working, you're negotiating your salary with your employer. And you're asking, let's say, because you have like a master's and also like you based off of the market value, you feel you're worth 80K. And they come up and we'll give you 65K, and then you're like, no, I want 80K. So time goes on. Let's just say they finally give you 75K. Okay? So they elected to give you that raise. You're like, hey, I got a big pay raise. I'm not complaining. I'm just doing me. And let's say, you're doing your job all right, and then they come up to you the next year and they're like, hey, listen, the business hasn't been doing so well, and we need to kind of we need to ask you to take less money so that we can fund other things. Do you honestly think in your regular day job you would sincerely take a pay cut for someone that paid you that money and now they're saying they got to use it elsewhere? You would be like, no, fuck off, don't take my money. Just be real. You would not take a pay cut. So let's apply that to millionaires and billionaires. Why would a player need to take a pay cut? Hey, you're not the guy. Hey, this is the contract you gave me. I don't have to say shit. And you might be saying that, oh, well, Space Cowboy, now you're defending a greedy player. No, I'm defending a player that got their money that they deserve to get, right? The fact that we're having a conversation on if a player is greedy because the organization gave them a contract that they fell into and they got caught with their pants down, that's not the player's fault. That's the organization's fault. If the organization believed you're not worth that, then don't pay them. You're going to blame the player for the incompetence of the organization to pay them such an amount? Like, seriously. Don't pull that bullshit. There are plenty of people in the Cowboys fan base that pull that bullshit because the Joneses love to use the media as a negotiation tool to turn players into villains. They're doing it with Amari Cooper. They're going to do it with DeMarcus Lawrence. They're going to do it with CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and all those guys down the road. Trust me on that, ladies and gentlemen. You can bookmark this video, and I guarantee that's exactly what's going to happen. See, for me, I have said that you can release a player. Like, you can, release Amari Cooper. You can cut DeMarcus Lawrence. That is no problem whatsoever. The problem that a lot of us have, if you follow me or some other people in the Cowboys space of content creation, is that if you don't provide comparable talents on a level, like if it's 2 or 3 players that meet that level of production, same thing with the wide receivers. If you don't get that, then why bother releasing someone? Why bother changing what you have now because you feel like you overpaid that player? If you feel that way and you need cap space, but you want to keep the player, just restructure the contract. Oh, but Space Cowboy, you can't do that. Last time I checked, a lot of the other teams that are successful do it. Why is it that the Dallas Cowboys are magically the only goddamn team that has a salary cap problem? Last time I checked, the Rams don't give a fuck if they're going to give Matt Stafford $45 million a year. Last time I checked, they don't really give a shit about draft pick. Now, I'm not imploring the Cowboys to go down the route of the Rams, like trade everything. What I am saying, though, is that salary cap hell is a myth. It's a myth because you saw a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, who were $100 million over the cap. They managed to get under it really easily. You had a team in the Kansas City Chiefs who had only $1,000 in salary cap space, and they managed to not only re-sign Patrick Mahomes, they also re-signed Travis Kelce and a couple of these other guys in the offseason with that much money because they knew how to move the deal around. Yet we want to be here in Cowboy land and everyone wants to bitch about how much a player is getting paid. Last time I checked, is it us that are paying the players or is it the organization that's paying the players? Ugh, I can't speak. It's the organization. So I would say this, and I've kind of held this opinion. I'm not mad at a player for getting their money because players, you know what? If they're going to be getting this bullshit, like they get drugged through the mud, like Tank did, like Dak did, you could argue like Zeke did, like a lot of these other players did, and we want to blame the player because, hey, I want to get my money for certain reasons here, but the Cowboys don't want to pay them because, they love waiting to the last minute, or rather they want to force you to take a deal that's just way under market value, which, yeah, they do that. Why is it the player's fault? Last time I checked, the organization has a say in that. So listen, guys, the moral of the story is this. DeMarcus Lawrence has every right not to take a pay cut. He has every right to. And if you're going to be mad because, like, let's say this. Let's say his pay cut is $10 million. So now let's just say you save $10 million in cap space. Do you really think the Cowboys are going to use that? Like, let's just be honest with ourselves. Do you think the Cowboys are going to use all that cap space? I remember a year where the Cowboys had $20 million in salary cap space to use whatever they wanted, and they could do whatever. Yeah, like, they were good. They chose not to do anything with it. So please, just enlighten me. Do you believe that the Dallas Cowboys are going to spend all that money? Or even this. Even if they take a $5 million cap hit, or salary cap, or pay, reduction. What's that going to get you? You think that's going to get you a Pro Bowl player? Oh, it's going to get you a bench guy? Then who gives a shit? Like, seriously, like, if you really think that you are going to see the Cowboys spend money properly, you're not. Oh, but the Cowboys have to use it to pay other players and stuff like that. Okay, let's go ahead and use that exercise. So you mean to tell me that cutting Amari Cooper and DeMarcus Lawrence to re-sign Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson, and long-term Dalton Schultz is smart? When, you got guys like Randy Gregory hitting the market where you can argue is more valuable for your defense and a couple of other things. Oh, wait, because, you know what, we need to get a comp pick there and stuff like that. So, look, the fact is the Cowboys are not building this team, right? They don't know exactly what they want to do. And, look, even if you bring back Gallup and Cedric Wilson, which, again, that's fine and all, but at the end of the day, like, the money just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you move on from one player to give another player who is not as good? Not saying Gallup is shitty. I want to make that clear. I'm saying Gallup is not on the same level as Cooper. And what, we're going to bitch about Michael Gallup not getting 1,000 yards every single year because they don't want to target him so they could cut him in 2 years? Get the hell out of here. So yeah, guys, that was my little impromptu video about this whole situation. By all means, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.